Hi, hi, hi. Hello. Let's move this thing. Get that out of my face. Let's see. Honestly, nah, I'm not gonna drop the TSW logo. That one can stay there. I probably shouldn't have done the thing where I stuck this across my chest right next to where I already have my logo, but the intent was I would end up eventually using this avatar in VR chat and nobody would ever have to have name tags on to know who I was. Of course, facially, I also differ from so many other avatars out there that I don't know. You would think faces would be enough, but in some cases, people do need the name tag. The band wearing their own shirt. Yeah, I suppose so. Let's see. Scroll back up here. I had to go into the depths of the links on this one to figure out what the track even was. Let's see here. Been a minute since I've launched Sunless Sea. I don't want to get trapped in a loop on that one for too long because I love the idea of actually playing some of these other games tonight that ended up getting the community votes. For anybody that isn't part of the Discord, feel free to check the links that I've got here and join on there. That way you can also take part in voting for what we're going to play for the evening. But yeah, it looks like we got a few folks that voted on Sunless Sea, Apotheon, Sound Dodger, Cosmeteer. What was the other one that I saw? Is that Starships as well? No. It was Jupiter Hell. Okay, so yeah. We got a whole pile of votes for tonight, and a lot of them are same value with each other. So I like the idea of hitting a few of them. I like this. This is vibey. Whatever the song is. Okay, looks like that went up. Grab this, move it over here. So weird to me that this is doing the border thing, but you know what? I'll work with it. We're straight up mid 2000s YouTube right now. Continue. Did I have a story that we were working on last time? You know what? I have to ping a certain specific viewer of ours because they always want to come in for the Sunless Sea streams. Make certain I got the right person. Alright. And we'll pause this music. I'm very interested in where that went. I'm gonna have to look more into the track list on that playlist I was listening to, because that stuff got bizarre, and it's perfect for the spooky stuff. Okay, I legitimately do not remember what we were doing in this game, so let's hope I don't ruin what was a good run. The Traitor Empress is more properly referred to as Her Enduring Majesty. Is that an entire city built on the head of a goblin? Interesting. You know, at some point I'm gonna have to sit down and play some Fallen London. Oh, right. Spooky Manta Ray. Could be that. Okay, so we had a bunch of stuff going on here. We had a gunner, the Mog that took a bunch of our supplies to get and then killed a bunch of rats. I was kind of bummed about that. We have a surgeon on our boat now. We should talk to her. Oh, right. We had an affair with the surgeon after having already met somebody in Fallen London, and now my captain's kind of being James T. Kirk. I forgot. The space manta ray from out there was pretty cool. I'm actually kind of curious if there's going to be any kind of wildlife in Rebel Galaxy. It's one of the things that I liked in EV Nova. That's another game that I'm also going to have to pull up just because of ongoing context necessary. I realized last night that Rebel Galaxy is almost the perfect 3D translation of EV Nova, Escape Velocity Nova, a game that is very much lost to time. I can still play it today, but it has no music. And like this one at least has ambiance. That one doesn't. It's just the cold depths of space. But everything about it is so similar. And the ship that I just picked up, the Arcturus, looks so much like a Federation cruiser. It's not even funny. Like I'll have to end up pulling up a visual reference in a little bit here. Okay. I am hyped. I actually got good sleep today. I had to burn most of my day to do it, but I have the energy to properly stream. Gamer lore, yeah. Okay. The Alarming Scholar. Welcome! It's good to see you, hun. The Alarming Scholar is mercurial to say the least, a creature of sudden moves and provoking teeth. Possibly her. Is it her? Appointment as Mercury Maritime Liaison is precautionary to keep his. Is it his? Razor-sharp enthusiasm from causing too many injuries in the faculty. Ah, yes, the scholar whispers breathily. I have a budget for acquisitions. What have you brought me? If you have any knowledge items the scholar will buy, they'll appear below. Oh, we don't have anything for them. Oh, I feel bad. Yeah, glad that the pings work. I try to make certain that people's favorites they're let known of that coming up. Also, I have to comment because of the Alarming Scholars introduction and the way that they write about them. I had a moment today when I tried to go get food, and I think I broke the poor attendant at the Taco John's that I went to for dinner because they through the checkout lane ended up hearing my voice, and like as a lot of you know, I have a fairly bassy voice. It's kind of rumbly, and so they kept kind of automatically politely doing a yes sir, okay sir, thank you sir, and I'm like all right, whatever. We get up to the actual window, and they fully switch over to yes ma'am, thank you ma'am, here you go ma'am, and while I'm trying to get my stuff, like get a payment out for them and all that, they switch back to the sirs, then apologize, and then switch to guys for just both of us. Normally, like, I would be a little distraught, but this person actually did apologize and legitimately seemed very confused as to what to refer to me as, and I wasn't helping. I was just like, thanks for the food, I'm out of here. It was one of those moments of actually having like legitimate and be good vibes on my end, the way that I used to, like, no, you can't tell what I am because nobody knows what I am. Labyrinth of Tigers. I don't remember what this one was. Oh, right. Provide a rare creature of the labyrinth. Are those young siren serpents? Marvelous, marvelous. We'll pay you handsomely. Of course we will. No gender, only enigma. Yes, exactly. The fact that they were polite the whole way through, like, made that a very palatable experience. Like, normally I would be very leery and kind of frustrated and tired of it all, but for the first moment in a long time, I actually felt the true trickster vibes just flowing through me. So we killed something. It was one of the bigger sea creatures that we found out there, and apparently it's worth 500 echo, so I'm going to sell that. Decorum's reward. No, Captain, we do not use the sailor's term here in the labyrinths. At sea, Captain, it may be Neptune's... Oh, harlot. But here we have a care for our manners. Your payment, Captain. Do come back if you find another. You've lost one harlot fry. New total, 0. A bucket of tiny but razor-toothed serpentlings. Oh, that was that. Okay, that was the mer witch that we met. Like it looked like a lady in green, floating over the waves. And then we tried to go talk to her, and it turned out to be a giant sea leviathan that ate 3 of our crew before we managed to gun it down. We don't use sailor terms here, is how I'm going to scold my kids and the guests from now on. It's not a bad way to go about that, honestly. Okay. Your lodgings, the Venturer's Desires. Don't have anything for them. The Roser's Wharf. Don't have anything for them. Can't do the Death Hath No More Dominion yet because we're not far enough into the story. London. Hire on more crew. You have 7 crew. And a lot of echo now. Let's get some more crew. Rich pickings. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sleep in hammocks. You succeeded in the Hearts Challenge. You lost 30 echo, you lost 1 terror, you've gained 3 crew. Good. They're going to be hungry. That's the only thing that sucks about that. Survey office. Do I have surveys to turn in? No more than 2. You have 1. This port. Here's strategic information from the Iron and Misery Funging Station not far from Home Waters. Oh, they specifically want me to go there. Okay. We can go back there. We got really good food there. We met that person that made mushroom tea. Ah, this was such a good run. I'm so glad that, like, I'm actually remembering all the bits and pieces of what was going on. Such wealth! You've earned enough echoes to buy better equipment for your ship. Click on the Shops tab. A new engine or deck weapon would be a good first purchase. A new engine might very well be a good purchase. Aww! That's the person that we met, and probably upset. Said never to forget them, and then gave me their locket. Restaurant recommendation. There's this little place in Venderbite. Oh. Wait, what? Why? Huh? I'm trading in my ship for the same value in half? Okay, so I do need 2,000 if I want to go up to the next level of ship. Dang. How's supplies here? And fuel is cheap. I should get it while I can. Torpedoes. A deck weapon, a forward weapon, a deck weapon. Hey, Josh. How you doing, hun? A forward weapon. So, wait. Huh? Winnow the Slumbering Green. Permits torpedo attacks. Forward weapon. One of LNS's more reliable pieces. Permits flensing attacks? What is the flensing cannon? Hold on. I'm actually going to go look this up. Ship weapons. SunlessSea Wiki. Weapon types. Cannons are standard weaponry, equally effective against ships and beasts. They do not consume ammunition. All deck and aft weapons are standard cannons. Cleansing weapons are specialized weaponry designed to rip and tear the flesh of sea beasts, as well as their scales, shells, hide, chitin, spines, ichorous membranes, wings, etc. They do more damage to beasts than to the hulls of ships and are better at killing enemy crew than staggering enemies. Like cannons, flensing weapons do not require ammunition. All flensing weapons are forward-mounted. Icaruses in black deal impressive damage to ships and utterly apocalyptic damage to monsters. However, each shot requires unusual ammunition. The entire Icarus in black is forward-mounted. Torpedo launchers are specialized weaponry designed to blow apart the hulls of enemy vessels. They're quite powerful, though they deal somewhat less damage to beasts and enemy crew. Firing any torpedo launcher consumes 1 unit of torpedo components. All torpedo launchers are also forward-mounted. Interesting. I'm currently using a lead beater and stain rod surplus deck cannon. Would I even want? Later. Oh, Elite Dangerous would be interesting. I have no idea how well that's going to work, but if you would like to, like, run me through that, sure. Is that something that you're wanting to do on stream, or is that something you're wanting to do just afterward? Heartender. Okay, so I can actually take a look at the damage here as well. I do apologize that I'm, like, scrolling through menus out of a different screen at the moment, but I do kind of need to find out. So 8 and 8. The first cleansing weapon does 16 and 24 with a 4-second warm-up, 4 seconds on all of those. And then some are 5 seconds. With a stagger, torpedo launchers do stagger. Oh. Afterward, it might take a minute to get used to the controls. Okay, works for me. Need a second to remember the controls. Also valid. Alright, so I did not know that my ship could have had extra weapons this entire time, besides just the main cannons. And since everything in this is not broadside combat, I can set up for primarily forward combat. So now I'm like, what would I like here? An aft weapon. Not what you'd call an elegant weapon, but it does make the most tremendous bang. 4 seconds and does stagger. Ooh. Oh, wait. Yeah, stagger amount 2 seconds. I could do 2 cannons. What do you think? What do you folks think? Should I do the pop guns or should I do big heavy cannon? DPS versus tanking. Big boom. Okay. Hold left shift to buy 10. Only front-mounted pure cannon. Alright, we're going to try this. Switch to... Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I bought a cannon that I can't equip on this ship! What have I done? Will it let me sell it back for the same value? No, no it won't. I have made a critical error. Okay. Yep. Let's take a closer look at this then. We've got deck, auxiliary, bridge, and engines. Weapon slots? Oops. Okay, so it won't let me mount any of those. The power of democracy has failed us. +1 tab as soon as you get home. Aw. Thank you, LT. Drive safe. Or safe travels. Oh, let's see here. Let's go back to naval surplus. I guess... Oh, I didn't want to have to... Okay, forward... Deck... Forward, aft, Forward. Wait, did this have aft? No. Don't do it again. One of C&H's newer models. Warm-up time 4 seconds. I can't believe I did that. Alright. Let's also take a look at something else. What are... Powerful weapon that relies on torpedo attacks. Deck weapon. So Caminus Yards has even better weaponry versus the surplus. Interesting. Six and a half more hours. Prepare to be set upon by peaks every day. Aw. Always good to have folks drop in. Okay, so our current engine power... Go to our hold. We're running an elderly steeple engine. Shimmering complexus of steel and glass. In its heart, a serpentine rages, or so the magician claims. Interesting. I don't see how a better engine is going to suit me at the moment. I think a better gun will do more. Forward, deck. Forward, forward, aft, forward, deck. Forward. So we're going to do the biggest deck gun we can. Just takes up the rest of our money. And we're going to hope that this was worth it. Yeah. Let's hope. Take a look at the map. Okay, so Iron and Misery Co. is way out there. This was a fun little route that we took last time. I guess... Should we go north or south? We're going to end up going to Iron and Misery Company no matter what during this loop. It's going to be the outer point. But I want to do a bit of exploration along the way. So we're going to go through the middle of the black or down further. I'll check this over here. Middle of the black. Okay. Nope. Wrong button. Wrong button. We're off to a great start. I don't think we have any news that we could give to the sisters right now. Well provisioned. You are now well provisioned. Try venturing further from London. The risks are greater, but so are the rewards. Let's turn our lights off while we're still out in home waters. Wait, we haven't found Hunter's Keep yet on this playthrough? No way. Fed the crew. I should have bought more supplies. Oh well. The glassy chop of dark water, the iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. Reconnoitre the island. Skid a port report. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle. The house and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. Walk the gardens. The lawns are neatly trimmed, and the night flowers underneath bloom here in profusion. You watch the hedgerows, but nothing comes to menace you. You can savor the peace. There's a pointed cough from the shadow of a potting shed. An angular woman in a maid's uniform, her eyes a peculiar sulphurous yellow, advances, frowning. She indicates the house, turns on her heel, and leaves. You've been known to visit the three sisters. You've lost 5 terror. Present ourselves. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you to the parlor where the 3 young women wait. Visitor, the youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. The cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? So we've been here before. We've read through some of these, but for the folks that haven't, I'm going to go through bits and pieces of this at least. Also, I see that something awaits us in port. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist. Oh, wait. Okay. Like 100 other undersea islands. But there's a grand house, windows aglow. Lawns impossibly green and lush in the full starlight, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. Let's eat with Phoebe. Phoebe is soft voice, watchful, unpredictable. Phoebe has a story to tell of 2 lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The undersea shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spine things pulse in the depths. There's a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe, quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finish the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. You now have a memory of distant shores. You're acquainted with the sisters. Storm smell. Yeah, isn't that a nice smell? I wonder what it's like in the caves, too. You've gained new supplies. You've lost 5 terror. Fragment remains unchanged. You now have the god of sea, Storm's attention. News! News! Even when the sisters aren't feeling sociable, they become tempted out of their lair by the smell of new stories. Knock and wait. You ask the sulphur-eyed maid to carry a few sincere news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with a message their headaches are cured and you're invited to lunch. An electric shiver to the air. Storm is watching, the sailors would say. Let's eat with Lucy. A daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. That's all. You are now acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. You've gained new supplies. Memory of distant shores remains unchained at 1. You now have the god of sea, Stone's attention. Hey, Dan. How you doing, hun? You're late! It's alright, hon. We're rereading some of the stuff from Hunter's Keep, so the starting area very close to Fallen London, because we had done that restart on the previous playthrough, and picked up, let's see here. Hi! Picked up the surgeon, had an affair, slept with somebody in London. I'm doing good. It's been an eventful day. And fought a giant sea serpent, and that got us money to go buy a bigger gun. Yeah, okay, so I forgot in this game that by default the societal standards are monogamous, and if anybody's familiar with me in general, I'm very not. No, that isn't even stuff you missed in the last 30 minutes. That's all stuff that happened in the last playthrough, the last time we were on Sunless Sea. I'm basically just running through a recap of all that and trying to remember where we were. So that was all in restarting this last time, and it had been a long night, And so I just kind of shut down after we had parked ourselves in London. The crew was starving. We took on the criminal, like crime boss loan of a bunch of supplies and fuel, and yeah, it's been basically we're back at having the same resources you do when starting normally, but after already having done a few things, including going and getting a bigger gun. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll have better survivability, but we're basically broke again because of the big gun and because of me buying the wrong one. Okay. So we dropped in on Hunter's Keep. We talked to two of the sisters, because on this playthrough, we actually hadn't been here yet. So picked up some more supplies, gave them some news, and now two of the Lovecraftian gods are watching our crew specifically. Time to launch. Welcome, delicious friend. I see fog. Does that mean bats? Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. We enter the snares. I see a gilliflower. We've entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. Oh no. I do not know how to not get hit by these things. Gilliflower's end. Unlocked when surveyed visage is... You now have one sea story. From above, the gilliflower's cap does look a little like a woman's face. She dissolves like smeared paint. Very well then. A belch of smoke goes up from the funnel. Let's see here. Our hull is damaged. We can use supplies to repair it, but apparently that isn't actually the best. Fed the crew. Ooh, I see some rocks. Crab cake? Huh? Found an island named Crab Cake. Those jellyfish are way too good in combat. Oh, it's Pigmote Isle! I can actually run through the story on this really fast since we've already done it. The Rat Star and all that. So for the sake of getting back to where we were before we died last, I'm just going to run through the story on this without reading through it. Aww. Don't you dare forget me. You stand on the bridge with the likely lass's locket in your hand. Keep it. It's a risk for both of you. Shorebound lovers grow lonely, and sea captains die young. Throw it away. With enough time and effort, you could break her heart, or she yours. No! Keep it! The sea air is cold, but the heat of your blood has warmed the metal of the locket. Keep it close. You've lost one terror. You have a sweetheart in London. For now, your affair with your officer is forgotten. On the lonely desert beach. Progress of a nation. War. Okay, yes, the tale of Pigmote Isle. Alright. I have made my choice. Favor the seneschal. No, chief engineer. Continue. Friend to rats. Visit rat barracks. Say hi. Visit rat star. Say hi. Head down to the beach. Say hi to the weaver. Finish exploration. Talk to the war council. Look like strategic assistance. Questing beast. Oh, this is a different chunk of the story from last time. Alright. We engineered a distraction that the LBs could use to plunder the Cavi ship and turn the tide in their favor. A questing beast. I dressed up one of me sailors in a mess of shabby cloth, smeared the prisoners honey, and instructed them to roll around in the black earth of the island. Soon we had a glorious mud monster descend thrashing through the chicken woods towards the Cavies. The distraction worked perfectly. The Cavies diverted their force towards our makeshift beast, leaving the rats with very little opposition as they plundered the grounded ship. They returned triumphant, as did my sailor, laughing, having led the Cavies a merry chase. Within a few hours, the rats' diligence resulted in the building of a remarkable cache of weapons with which they successfully routed their enemy. The rats, ever egalitarian, shared their spoils in addition to the promised food and fuel. Hail Murinia! Your currents... Pigmoat Isle is now... might quality is now vulnerable. Civilization quality is now unexceptional. Spirit quality is now conflicted. We now have 4 bales of parabola linen, 1 of scintillac, and 10 more fuel. Wow! I have never had that much fuel in this game. Okay. The House of Cavi had fallen. Murinia was triumphant, and all that remained were the celebrations and continuation of our voyage. Oh, how we feasted long into the night. Then I interceded on behalf of the Cavies. They were crushed, defeated, and I could see their spirits broken without the light of the Rat Star to guide them. They needed an advocate. Satisfaction of victory. I appealed to the chief engineer's moral fortitude and sense of fair play. Perhaps the Cavies suffered the loss of the light from the center of the island. Suffered the loss of the light. That's not worded well. Chief Engineer looked troubled, but shook his head. You fought one battle, Captain, he said gravely. We fought hundreds against them. They're monsters, pure and simple. And the sooner we're rid of them, the better. Rid of them? I saw, by the light of scintillac, a dozen rats using the steam pinnacle supplies to build something that looked remarkably like a sausage machine. An occurrence, your memoirs, a rat in the making quality is now 2. You could not forge peace between the rats and Cavies. The story is changing. Okay. So, last time we left, we asked the Weaver tool and engineering specialist, not the lead engineer, but their second in command, to join us. When we did so, it actually put the island at risk. Their civilization was then considered troubled because they didn't have the differing voices to rule with a level head. Hey, Ryan Gosling. Good to see you, hun. Squish them orbs. So yeah, I don't necessarily want to leave them in disarray. It was nice to have the additional Radis Faber with us, because like it opens up more story options elsewhere, but I also don't know what happens on Pigmoat if we leave it be now. So I'm going to actually leave without them and see what happens, especially since the story changed anyways. The wide dark Z beckoned. We had eaten our fill and our business was concluded. It was time to continue our voyage and see what other wonders and terrors still awaited us. There, you finish your diary entry in the final dregs of the rat's surprisingly good wine. It would be cool to see what happens from here with a different choice. Yeah, I agree. They line up to salute you as you leave the victory banquet, escorting you to your ship through the foundations of their new republic. You now have one of this, a port report, Pigmoat Isle. That's all for now. Your hunger quality is gone, and a new nation has been founded. The rise of Pigmoat Isle. Hail Marinia! The Nice's most adorable nation scurries around your legs. Scintillac harvesters drag heavy bags of the island's bounty to their silos. Industrious rodents work hard on towering edifices, some of them almost neck high. London will never believe a bloody word of this. The Cavi Ghetto. Or I could steal the Rat Star. That's even worse. I'm not doing that yet. 18% chance. Wow. Visit the Cavi Ghetto. I'm kind of curious. Let's see. The survivors of the war have been sent to the swamp where they ponder their failure. Rat guards patrolled from atop a spiked wall, passing the time by pelting the mudslid guinea pigs with sharp rocks. I feel bad. Smuggle food into the ghetto. The Cavies have little to offer except their gratitude. Success will improve Pigmont Isle's spirit. Attempt to broker a union. Ooh. Success will boost spirit, failure will reduce it. Assist in a Cavi revolution. Oh no. This guarantees you the rat star but costs 5 veils. I'm not doing that, but I will bring them food. Smuggling woes. Delivery coincides with an inspection by the rats. The ranking engineer is willing to search even the hairless advisor for contraband. He orders the cavies assembled and has the food burned in front of them. A pair of guards fan the smell into their faces. Better than vermin deserves, declares the rat, turning to address the whimpering crowd. I hope you enjoyed your meal. You will see no more charity from your betters. You've lost 2 supplies. Time passes on Pigmont Isle. Oh no. You're right, we're leaving. We're leaving. I am not I'm not messing with that. I'm sorry. Discovered Saints Haven. Oh, they named their port now. It's cute. Okay, we're still heading to Iron and Misery, so let's head down this way. Oh, we got lights out here. The world is webbed with invisible lines. You've crossed one. Tighten them, and it would split like a fruit. I love the concept of ley lines being that tangible to mortals. We got islands. What's out here? Ah, a light ship. We'll go there later. There's no port report for it. Okay, that closes that. Distant bells. Something awaits you in port. Pure Whale Point. Here, the wilder airs mingle. Whoa! With the airs of the near reaches. Demo's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? How am I supposed to? Yeah, This is such a bad idea. Oh no. You leave me alone. Ah! No! Ah! Suffered 10 damage. Our hole. No! Leave me alone! Go away! Of course it got a final hit in. I don't... Yeah. Go away! Scoot! Lost 1 crew. Okay, let's go eat a giant crab. Dissect it for knowledge, butcher it for supplies, and occasionally other oddities. You have an unprepossessing mass, an appalling glob of organic matter and dripping fluids, retrieved from somewhere you'd rather not think about. You also gain 1 new supplies. Open an Oh. The smell alone is reason enough. You will gain nothing, but at least you won't suffer terror effects. Ooh, terror effects. Z eggs. Golem Z eggs, the bosun suggests. We don't want to tell the crew what they actually are. They're safe to eat, but you know. The soft wind from the east, the impossible scent of pine. That's Demo Island, which means Iron and Misery is over here, which means we can eat! We can feed the crew, which is about to get fed if I don't get here fast enough. Fed the crew. Dang it! Alright. Iron and Misery. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay. Iron has a plunger operation here, felling giant Boligus mushrooms for building materials, harvesting Curly for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. Oh, hello, Captain! Thank God for visitors. We go quite mad out here, otherwise... quite mad. How can we be of assistance? A bandaged funger. One of the funging workers is watching your crew, and watching the Claudery air especially. What does he want? Give the pass sign to the affable factor. Oh. Chi with a factor. Explore Demo Island. Accept a volunteer. One of the company's Beleaguus fellers has negotiated an early release from her contract. It's the Sproutling, she tells you, her face bleeding. I keep picking them out of me porridge, and me hair, and me eyes. Take me away. I'm a good worker. Oh. Compile a new port report. We'll gather supplies. Alright, so first off, let's do this bandage funger. I'm curious. Whispered confidences. The tomb colonist draws you a little way away from the Claudery air. Don't tell her you met me, he says in a hoarse rasp. Her mother cut my voice. Hoped to fix so I wouldn't be able to look for my daughter, so I wouldn't want to, he wheezes. Didn't work. Operations never completely effective. Need to know my daughter's well. Happy. Finding enough patience. Getting enough to eat, so forth. In exchange for the simplest news, he explains himself. I'm her father, he says. Ordinary engineer. Not the sort of parent she would want. If you wish to tell the heir about this encounter, you can do so by speaking with her. You now have one ex-familiar with the Claudery heir's father. Well, we've had an interesting, relationship with her so far. I don't want to... Okay. Give the pass sign to the affable factor. The Admiralty asks you to bring back strategic information. This is your contact. A strained smile. Here, little to report, but we have had Khanat privateers nosing around, and tell them that the company grows suspicious. Mr. Iron knows the Admiralty is interested in his business. Pray, my friend, that you never have to serve two masters as I do. Aw. You now have one strategic information. You've completed your commission. Return to the Admiralty. Gather report. Of course, INM's activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, record what you can. I want to explore. Let's see what we find. Close crowded thickets of Beleaguus and Skierly. The Iron and Misery Company fells them daily, but they grow back almost as fast. The interior of the island is dark and wild. This is an empty cliff top above the bleak waves. Now it blazes with color. Striped tents, colored flames, the music of the pianola and kettle drum. Mustachioed women and languorous men play chess, carve bones, eat cats, and polish their terrifying brass weapons. These are Iron Republic privateers, pirates whose practices contravene the very laws of nature. Attack, keep close and eavesdrop. Go either way. They're numerous, but lost to wine and music. You'll have the element of surprise, but it's very hard to know exactly what those weapons will do. The Republic is privy to the gossip of hell. Keep close and you may learn impossible secrets. Fragments of meaning. They're speaking of a raid on the Khan's glory, from which they stole pieces of prayer, a boast that a rival bandmate made about stealing an empress's wedding dress, of a sort of spiced meat which fills the heart with love. But they speak too almost coherently of privateer lairs in the Western Wall, of passwords in use, of brass embassy protocols, and of tuning techniques for drawing lost souls close. A buzzing rises in your brain as you listen until your eyes become unfocused and your tongue feels thick and heavy. You creep away before anything worse can happen, but this is odd and useful miscellaneous facts. You succeeded in a Veils challenge. You've gathered fragments. You've lost terror. That's all for now. Interesting. Last thing that we can do here, gather supplies. Unlocked with terror, no more than 50. A fug of dread. What is... Huh? Some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, or mischievous. The storytellers have interesting effects on the listener. Yeah, I don't know if you remember when I ended up getting to the brass embassy, but each time the captain tried to write up a report of what was happening, their ink was freezing inside the bottle in the middle of hell because things don't make sense as far as physics are concerned there. The spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongues. They coat your tongues. Tongues. Let me check my other mouth. Yes, that's where it is. One crewman begins to whimper. Oh, Christ. They've reached my heart. I think I'll be Harvest yet. Harvest yet! You have to drag him back to the ship before he's calm again. You were unlucky. Better luck next time. You were fortunate. You've gained 2 terror. You've gained 1 supplies. I'm just gonna harvest myself some tasty nom-noms. You were unlucky. You were fortunate. You were fortunate. You were fortunate. Why did I not know this was a thing before? Uh-oh. Overboard. Supplies are more expensive. Okay. I hate the way that Windows 11 likes to try to dock things. Okay. Well, are there shops here? There are shops here. I could sell supplies. What a strange way to make money. Like, if you're willing to harvest terror, I think I may have actually found a potential way to keep this crew alive. And the crew. We're very, very damaged. That part I am mildly concerned about. Okay. Should we continue off to the east, or should we head back for London? If we do go to London, we can get some repairs done. We can turn in the port reports. We can go visit our partner, person that we caroused with. And I'm betting by the time we make it there, there'll also be an event waits you in port. Alternatively, yeah, we've only kind of explored about 25% of the surface area of this, and that's like not even covering the spaces in between. Let's see here. What I will do, going back to go out longer, maybe, yeah. I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna put up a poll and take a short break because we're about to hit the 1 hour mark, and I will be back with you folks, and we'll go from there. But let me get this set up here. Do 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 do. New poll. Question: further east? Well, let's see here. Further to London or further east, south, west to London, Or go really squirrely. Northeast. I'm not going to go southeast yet because that'll be close enough to London that that's another relatively safe route to take for looking around. But we're going to set this up for a 5-minute pull, and I'll be right back with you folks. Okay, let's take a look at the results here. Further, back to London. Sounds good to me. Transition back over here. Turn off the creepy doll music. Camping. Cat sitting very comfortable around a campfire with its friends. That is an amazing emote. How does... I don't know how 7TV allows for that kind of stuff. It's crazy. I got wrapped up during our little break there just talking about an old cat that I used to have. Missed that little weirdo. Okay, so we're going to go southwest to northwest just to try and get a little bit extra distance here. Find any more things potentially. Magic. Oh. Terror. Your cruise terror is reaching dangerous levels. You can lower it in certain ports and slow its rise by staying close to land and keeping your prow light on. Higher at steam pinnace. Suffered 5 damage. One more. Good, they missed. Go back over here and grab supplies from what's left. The ship is yours! What will you do? Loot and scuttle her, of course. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but here's something in the back of the hold. You finished opening a cache of curiosities. A box full of mystery. A bolt of fabric. Shake it out a little and let it glimmer in the light. Ooh. Parabola linen. Parabola is the serpent placed behind mirrors. Or someone made that up. But in that case, where do they weave the sleek and ambery glimmering cloth? You gained 1 new bale of parabola linen. That was a very valuable fight. A brisk matter of spray. The Untersee is restless. Our terror is reaching concerning levels. Ah, more fruit. And something awaits us in port. Thornwell Croft. I don't know what this is. Where do I park? Where do I dock? Ah. Shepherd Isles. Discovered Wolf's Rift. Shepherd Isles. Of course, the bearded watchman tells you. There are no actual shepherds on the Shepherd Isles. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No, indeed, it's just the name of the gentleman that found the islands. Greybeard sitting in the village square nods solemnly. No sheep, one says, but plenty of tails. Ask us anything. Oh, wow. A navigator? I could take on a first officer. With 50 echo. It would be the last of it. Okay. Unlocked when something awaits you. With 5 echo. Picnic at the Standing Stones. Tales of the Standing Stones. Tales of the 3 Graves. Tales of the Thornwell Croft. The rest of the Z. And compile a port report. Interesting. Well, let's have a picnic. The bearded villagers will sell you mutton stew and kefir, and stone bottles of cold, fresh spring water, and row you over to the stones. An odd find. Your sailors watch the fireflies shimmer, swap shanties, pass around the grog, and shy stones of the more vampirically inclined Z-bats. Grasses nod in the breeze. Across the dark water, the lights of Abbey Rock glow watchfully. Your bosun hands you something. Found a rock, he reports laconically. Pretty sure it's dead. What? You now have an ambiguous eolith. A thinking creature made this, or the sea made this, or both. What? Compile a report. Oh my, yes, there's been goings on. In the bleak light of the false stars, surface rolling up like a porridge pot, up with the roar of steam and flash of fire, 3 windows swimming, tentacles! And then we saw His Highness. There's a rather lot of this material. Okay. Let me guide your ship. I know all the Z, how it was, how it will be. Please, the headaches only stop when I'm working. Thank you. The nonsense here has been a distraction for a while, but only the sea can help me now. Oh my god, the air. It's clearer already. Let me chart a course for you. Ah, my head. Appoint your new officer by dragging him to the officers tab at the slot. Okay, yes, thank you. Officers. Has the tattoo grown since you last looked? Oh, that's concerning. Speak to. They seem nice. Ask what you want from life. Con Shadow. Right, that was what you wanted. Okay. Back. Officers. Talk. Ooh. Okay, first let's talk to this guy. Yes. No, it was good. Thank you. He's an admirable appetite for so slight a fellow. Increase your mirrors. Maybe one of your secrets can drag something out of him. Huh. Let's pay a secret. I'm sorry, it's the pain. No, this is what you wanted, I think. He's eager to instruct you like a drowning man striking for air, but he struggles to put words to his understanding. Does the sigil give him his insights, or is it old learning he's failed to forget? You've lost one secret, you've gained 1 mirrors. We do have supplies to spare right now. We'll hold off. Now the surgeon. Oh, hold up. What? Okay, let's dine with her. Precise bite sizes. The cooked flesh arrives still in its shell. From the claws, 8 legs, body, and head, she renders a dozen near bite-sized piles of shredded flesh, sutured with mushroom, or pinned together with a needle of chitin. Perhaps she's missed a calling as a chef? She denies it. My mother was the child of a surgeon in the first city. You might say the knife work runs in the family. There's a wicked quirking smile at the corner of her mouth. Then there are the rumors about my father. She would deny there's any truth in those. An occurrence. You're learning about the Claudry heir's qualities now alerted to rumors about the Claudry heir's parentage. Her father. She becomes more talkative when she has something to cut. Perhaps you can get her to say more about her father. Unlocked with a strange catch. Increase your hearts. Let's pay a secret. It's a straight trade, one of your best discoveries for one of hers. It's not hard to drive the bargain. She sits back after dinner and tells you this. Most people think that the hard part of surgery is finding what's wrong and taking it out, but any fool could do that. A ship's cook with a cleaver can have that part of the job. The hard part is cutting so you can sew it all back again afterwards. And she demonstrates in a shark fin, leaving it in better condition than it started. That's so fun. Okay. Wretched Mog. I can talk to the mascots, but not the Mog. Nothing awaits you. Time to leave. A vivid imagination. You pull out your second best chart and several pens. The Blemmigan squeaks and bounces over, upending an inkpot in its excitement. You're ignored for several hours. When you return, to find on your pillow, snoring quietly, your map has 3 new islands, a note reading simply, "Here are lions," and a drawing of, well, it looks a lot more like a vast spider than a lion. Thank goodness there's nothing like that at sea. You've gained 1 new terror. Hold on. Okay, so it didn't actually add anything to my chart. Chef Surgeon. Yeah, she seems nice. I've enjoyed the interactions that we've had with her. I just apparently the captain's taken now. Wolf's Rift. Discovered Westergren's fire. Discovered Flitterstone Isle. There's a lot of stuff. Discovered Abbey's Rock. Okay. Your cruise terrors. Your hull damage is below half strength. Okay. You've gained a secret. Speak to your officers. Abbey Rock. A black spit of an island far from anywhere anyone would want to go. And that's how the Sisterhood likes it. Here stands their fortress Covenant. Here, there are bear traps that look friendlier than this. Trade supplies. 20 echoes for 1 supplies. Resources are limited on this bleak rock. The Sisterhood will pay a fair price for supplies. Not a good price, mind you. Compile a port report. It's unlikely to be eventful. Knock at the iron-studded gates, although you have no recent news. Unlocked with no more than 0 recent news. Offer a gift. The Sisterhood respects 2 things: unswerving decades of fidelity to holy secret purpose, and the ability to shoot straight. Perhaps you can demonstrate the second with a hunting trophy. Search the surroundings. You cannot be the first to come here. With no more than 0x Memoirs beginner's luck. Time is. You gain... Oh. Damn. That's so much. Alright. A cache. You follow tracks into a sea cave. Someone has stored food, supplies, ammunition. It can't be the nuns. These crates have a khanate look. The Admiralty will want to know about this. You've gained fuel. You've gained supplies. You've gained strategic information. You now have torpedo components. Time is. Once per game, something pleasant will happen. Nothing pleasant will ever happen again. Compile a port report. As always, nothing is happening. The sisters watch us, we feel their eyes. The sea crashes on the rocks, withdraws. The fortress stands solid as the last year of a century. The greatest peril you risk here is a certain purpleness of prose. Once per game. Nothing. Far away, a great bell tolls. Drizzle begins to fall. You sneeze. Continue knocking. Continue knocking. It's saving the game every time. Continue knocking. Will it let me just do this? And if so, does it net me anything? I'm going to go for 10. Oops, one more. Okay, they didn't answer. Any shops? No shipyard? Okay. Intro to Fogbank. So we went to the Shepherd Isles, and then up there is Mutton Island. Is this Rowena's Rock? No? I don't know what that is. Little ships throng the waters here. Crew grow wistful. They swap old stories of the sunlit sea. What is that? Oh. You've encountered the jellyflowers that prey on humane shipping. Oh no. Oh no. Just go. Get out of here. That thing attacks us. We are SOL. No! No! Alright, I just gotta go. Well, no, I can kill it in the next shot. Ah, I hate this. That was almost the end of the game right there. Alright. Scoop it up. A barrel of former jellyfish. You will wait in the hold like a cup of dissolved moon. One day you will eat it, or perhaps it will eat you. Alright, and we just made it to the gate? The Albertine Gates. Tons. Oh wait, no, those are cranes. Alright, the Cumane Canal staging area. The canal ascends through locks and gates and shadowed turns to the sunlight at the surface. Unlocked with 22 fuel, unlocked with at least 2 supplies, unlocked with menaces yearning, burning, no more than 199. Port report. And something awaits you. A sorry end. A card game ends badly when one surface sailor knifes another for all the usual reasons. The other players scrabble for the coins that spill from their pockets, but you snatch up a scrap of paper they overlook. Curious markings. Dates, times, code names, spies work? You've gained 1x moves in the great game. Gather port report. Business as usual. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe from all the undersea, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping this way open. Okay. They actually have shops here. Not that I could afford anything. Speak to. Nope. Perhaps not. Okay. Take a look here. We will drop by Mutton Island again for at least another provision and port report, because that's going to mean more fuel and more supplies. I don't know how we're going to repair the ship. We're probably going to have to do Admiralty favors, and that's going to mess with further progression there, but we're probably going to lose all the Admiralty's favors anyways once we start doing the, whatever the criminal storyline is that I don't know anything about. Also, I bet you there's a bunch of fragments and stuff. Yep, there's the Cumane Canal. Let's see here. Hit the CPAT. There are no islands within the Z-Bat's range. Okay, I'm just gonna head north to Mutton Island then. The air trembles, a breath of change. Fed the crew. We've entered a fog bank. Quaker's Haven. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rails. A wandering person. He glances nervously at the cock and magpie, but his handshake is strong. With Lower Barnett. Lower Barnett. Ah, so this is going to be a place that has to do with that part of the storyline. Eventually, I'm going to want to do a Submariner run. I just have no idea how to even access that part of the story. It's there. Drinks at the Cock and Magpie. We don't have money. Another day as time is passing on Mutton Island. Unlocked with crew 4, you have 9. Explore the shore. Something awaits you. Chat to the fisherman. Port report. Unlocked as 1 echo. Visit the hilltop. A midnight ceremony. Buy supplies, buy fuel. Should we try looking at the ceremony? Hey, Oak Daddy, how you doing, hon? Yeah, we're doing some storyline. Playing some Sunless Sea. A little bit of a roguelike that's more of a book than it is a game in most cases. Let's see. Let's take a look at the midnight ceremony. A warm night on Mutton Island. A balmy wind blows from the east, rich with promise. There are torches bobbing up the hill. Whatever's happening, it's for locals only, but you could follow them. Didn't realize you were following. Oh, thank you. And hey, not a problem, hun. I appreciate that you folks support a pink diamond. Oh yeah. Again, you've given me a lot of support, hun. You've helped me grow out my own community as well, and you're always so polite to the other people when they come to join you. So, like, of course. Let's see here. You don't know the cliff paths like the local do, and you have to climb more than walk. Your skin is sheened with sweat by the time you reach the top. They started without you. How rude. An elderly fellow wears a feathered headdress and not so much else. He seems to be the one leading the ceremony. One assistant holds an ear of corn. Where did he find that down here? Another, a stone jug. Another, a clay tablet. The elderly priest addresses them to all his congregation. You catch snatches of it. The drowned man is not a god, the villagers hiss a reply. He came from the north, and to the north he will return. Another reply. The north is too cold for gods. Too cold for gods, they intone delightedly. Finally, they nod in agreement. The circle turns as one to grab one of their number, a man or woman with a lamp. They carry him, or possibly her, to the precipice and hurl the flailing body over the edge, down into the oily black waves far below. Their business done, the locals remove their robes and wander amiably back to town. They all seem quite jolly. Apparently the night's business went well. They retreat to the Cock and Magpie for a pint. Wow, you succeeded in a Veil's challenge. That's all for now. You've gained 3 terror, you've gained a Tale of Terror, you've gained fragments. Let's talk with the fishermen, I guess. Little snips and little secrets. Pirates plying the waves, smugglers at their work, Khanate ships putting in to resupply, nothing dramatic, but enough to interest the Admiralty. Right? Let's see. And we are just about back to London, so we'll just swoop around here. And hopefully be able to repair this thing enough to explore further out. This has been a very interesting run, because I've never, oh no, Did I just one-shot that? Hold up. Alright, works for me. Dissect it for... Well, yes, we absolutely have to dissect it. The surgeon's gonna want to. A crab full of conundrums. You set to work with your knives and acids. It's an undistinguished adolescent specimen. A megalops, one of the deep-sea crab species. But its eyes, normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. The golden glow is almost gone now, although sparks leap now and then to your knife. Oh. Interesting, interesting. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. Hi, Busta! How was work, hun? We're almost there! We're almost there! The ship is in pieces, but we're almost there! Where is everyone? Where did they go? They're here. They're here. You're not alone. Oh, I forgot my crew is actually going mad. The terrors at 41. Got a flu jab at work, so the arm's a little sore. Aw. Well, I hope that doesn't knock you out of commission too hard. Right. An inspection by the Ministry of Public Decency. Nothing to hide. Some things are too illegal for the Customs Service to admit the existence of. The Ministry are here looking for those. You shrug and invite them to search your ship as thoroughly as they like. They leave scuff marks on the newly scrubbed decks and take great pleasure in tangling the rigging. They find nothing more dangerous than a moldy ship's biscuit. You've lost 1 menaces. New total, 1. Alright. The lights of London welcome you home. Collect messages from the Harbor Master. All the clatter and song of the dockside. It soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? What's this? Something has changed underneath. Somebody wants to sign on. The blind bruiser attends to business on the dock. That's all for now. You have another day, a free evening. And the rose market hasn't changed because it is higher than 0, whatever that means. Good evening, Captain. What a marvelous evening it is, if you don't mind my saying so, and given as my impression that you are an obliging sort, I imagine you will not mind at all. As you are so very obliging, perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via Mount Palmerston with a few articles of cargo if you happen to be in the area. The cheery man will, of course, cover your expenses for this trifling inconvenience. You'll need at least 1 unit of space in your hold. Accept the commission. It is, after all, only a trifling inconvenience. Ask if there's another task you perform instead, or refuse the commission. I see you are hesitant. Perhaps you could find Mount Palmerston unbearable, and who could blame you? Well, if you have the vinegar, here's another matter which you might be able to assist me with. Refuse the commission. Your hold is full. Your affairs are complex. Mount Palmerston is far away and full of devils. No, we're going to accept this. We already accepted this. If you'd be so kind as to deliver this little gift to our friends in Mount Palmerston, they will see we gets to hear about it, and when you come back, we'll cover your expenses. Bon voyage, as my aunt, who is French by birth, if not by inclination, used to say. Oh no. You now have an unstamped crate of brilliant souls. A crate of exceptional human souls. It has never known the tender touch of the Imperial Customs stamp. Consequently, it cannot be sold on the open market, and you'd better not be caught with it. You've agreed to smuggle souls from London to Mount Palmerston. The shadowy figure has made you an offer. Interesting, interesting. Well, let's check the Rose Wharf. I have... Oh. No, I'm not wasting my free evening escorting other people there. Lodgings. Read the morning paper. Gain recent news. The Khanate is threatening war. They always are. London's colonies on the Carnelian coast want independence. They always do. The Undersea, the papers report, have undergone another alteration. Not yet it hasn't, you would know. Oh, a promotional coupon for Miss Plenty's provisioners for a half cask of salt herring. Use that. You gained 1 X supplies. You've lost 1 terror. Okay. For the city. Continue. Carouse in the Wolfstack docks. I would need more money. Hire on more crew. I would need more money. Put ship in dry dock. A new recruit. A new recruit. Another day, a new recruit. That's an interesting one. Let's try this. Who awaits your attention? Someone wants to sign on. Engage an officer, the genial magician, the tireless mechanic, or engage a sailor. We don't have money. I may have messed this up. I think I did. Oops. Okay, well, let's go to the survey office and get paid. Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of her enduring majesty, notionally. You gain 5 echo, 1 fuel. Your visitor to Hunter's Keep is confirmed by the Admiralty Records Office. You gained 1 favor. You no longer have a port report. Shepherd Isles. Submit as fact. We do hear some peculiar tales about that place. Submit as unsubstantiated hearsay. Oh, wow. I had a lot of exploration. All right. Submit as fact. You were met with skepticism. Candidly, I'm not sure why you saw fit to trouble us with this nonsense. Is there anything else? You've failed, but you've gained one fuel. Abbey Rock. We categorize it as a military installation, you know, although it has occasioned some quite vigorous debate. You gained Echo. Okay. The Communion Canal. Well, if you've been there, I suppose we may as well hear about it. Fee is nominal, though. Thank you for the money. Pigmoat Isle. I'm not sure I heard you correctly. What if I dump the human souls? Okay, we're gonna drop the fuel. Continue. I'm apparently gonna have to do something about this, so let us... Why does it give me the option to sell that while it's already equipped? That's concerning. Wolf Stack Exchange. Scintillac. Having one would be good. Same with the Parabola Linen. My Brendan Oh, carouse. Yes, we want to do that. A marvelous night out. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire. And something more. You have one of this recent news. I would have gained that way. Okay. Someone whose name you do not recall. Or the likely lass. Don't think I came down to the docks just to see you. I've got business here, but alright. It did cross my mind that you might drop by. Aww. A few hours together, shared warmth, new memories. It's harder to say goodbye this time. Something new. Something has occurred. That makes me so happy. I'm glad that they're still around. Okay. New recruit. Let's see. The Genial Magician. We have room for an engineer and a cook. Good afternoon, Captain. Perhaps I could do your engine some good. No, I'm quite the engineer. Difficult to credit, isn't it? But here are my references. Echo, learning about the magician, another day a new recruit, prudent magician, satisfied magician, and the urbane magician. There's different magicians? Engage an officer at the tireless mechanic. Afternoon, ready to offer my services. I'm an engineer, finest you'll ever hire. Treat engines like my own children. Not that I have children. Too busy. Usually busy. Interesting person. Or hire a sailor. No, we're taking on the magician. This person seems really entertaining. Okay. Welcome aboard. I'll get to work below. Perhaps I should change out of this jacket first, of course. You have no more recruits for the moment. There's so many things here. This will take you to dry dock, where you'll 1 point of favor will get you 2 to 3 fuel, pass on strategic information, submit vital intelligence, submit port reports, speak of moves in the great game, ask what he needs, ask what in particular he needs. Let's ask that. This port. Return to the Chapel of Light somewhere northeast of London. Okay. The Admiral sits up, although he steeples his fingers and pretends calm. Invisible eyes. He's hard to read with those glasses, but he reads the summary intently. Satisfactory. He looks at last. Eminently satisfactory, actually. Good work. Take this for your trouble. The clerk will see you paid. You've gained 150 echo. You've gained 1 new favors. Pass on further strategic information. Same thing. Good. Vital intelligence. Oh. Submit port reports. Moves in the Great Gang. Whispers. He has you repeat it all twice. He doesn't take notes. It's a little beyond me, he tells you, but I have a friend in the palace who'd be very interested. Very interested. Thank you. Your fee. Ask what he desires. Information. Okay. I already asked that. Submit port reports. Go to the other person. Where is... Okay, so 10 is the max crew on this. Our cargo holds at 37. Ah, why does it do that? Okay, Quaker's Haven. Been trying the original rubbery lumps, have we? You've lost a port report. You've gained 5 echo. You've gained fuel. Okay. You've been to Demo's Gate. Port report. Gain fuel. Gain favors. Gained echo. Visit. Ask to speak. I just spent favors to talk to him, even though I already had permission to go just talk at will. That's frustrating. London. Put ship in dry dock. Wait, what's this? Oh, okay. Completely repair your hull. Yes, thank you. Good news for now. Visit the Rose Market. I have nothing for them. Alarming Scholar. I have plenty for you. Memory of Distant Shores, a pick-one piece of picaresque pilgrimage. As the alarming scholar listens, tears well in the depths of those shining, or is it blazing eyes. They overflow, splashing onto the desk blotter. Stop! She sobs at last. This is too beautiful. Allow me to bring the macaw of memories. I wish each individual tone recalled. A Z story, a tale of the deep. Thrilling! Let me hear every detail. First I must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider impaled on the nib. Excuse me. Please, let me, good heavens. It's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. Do you have another pen? An ambiguous eolith. Some of these things were made as tools. Some just look it that way. This is the product of nature, not artifice. Interesting, nevertheless. I have the very shell for it, but if you could bring me something worked, not evolved next time. Interesting. Okay. We're at 9 out of 10, so we can keep the crew that we've got. Labyrinth of Tigers, nothing to sell. Adventurers' Desires, I don't have what they want. Tattoo Parlor. My daring. Oh, spend a tale of terror. I won't. Remain unblemished. No, we'll just do that later is all. Lodgings? Spend the night. This will reduce your terror, heal a wound, and give a restful night if you do not already have one. Let's do that. Lost 10 echo. The rats keep you awake of nights with their muttering and skirmishing, but the bed is warm and the door has a lock. Restful night hasn't changed because it is higher than 0. Okay. Well, we're at full repairs. We are wholly, stockpiled. We have crew. We have... new officer. Speak. He's a good engineer despite that missing hand, but sailors fall silent when he passes. Ask bluntly about his hook. Ask about Ask how a magician came to be an engineer. Dispel the darkness. He's mentioned before that he was in the theater. Could you arrange a diversion to improve morale? His eyes are opaque. Yes, he acknowledges, but it requires some very particular materials. Don't ask why. A firkin of prisoner's honey. 2 bales of parabola linen. 1 outlandish artifact. 1 live specimen. And 10 terror. Increase your veils. Unlocked with a secret. Yes. Pardon the veil. A magician never reveals his secrets. He does, however, trade them. On the surface, darkness is the absence of light, and underneath, from a particular perspective, the opposite is true. Ask bluntly about his hook after a meal. Ask how a magician came to be an engineer. We'll ask that. After a meal of salt pork and a glass of good Greyfields, a drain glass, he gestures carefully with his hook. It makes card tricks difficult. But we know about mechanisms, we magicians. My specialty was mirrors, but there were principles in common. It was a good start, and I found that I needed to go to sea. Why? Because, Captain, someone owes me a hand. Once a friend, now an enemy. I'm looking for a weapon to use against them. If once we find it, I may have a favor to ask of you. Find a serpent image to continue the genial magician's story. They can often be found in Irem, and rarely in Venderbite and other places. The magician's story continues. Interesting. How about surgeon? Nothing yet. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I've never had this much of a crew. Like, we almost have a fully crewed ship. We're getting somewhere in this game in a way I never thought I would. Kind of bums me out in the sense that it is a roguelike, because I could very, very, very well lose all of this, but I also feel like as time goes by, I'm slowly, finally, getting better at combat. I still suck at it, but I'm not dying as readily as I used to. Oh, wow. Alright, go to the shops here real quick. Cargo hold is at 38 out of 40. We actually have money right now. So, I actually could get the wine and honey put together for doing a circus or theater on the ship itself. It says dispel the shadows, but I don't know. See, here's where I come into a bit of like, I have inside information about bits and pieces of the lore and story of Fallen London. I know something of the circus because the last place that my citizen was the theater. They're now lost in the mirrors of Parabola, and that's the last I ever heard of them. Like, I'm certain if I were to figure out what my password was and all that to get back into Fallen London right now, I would still be stuck there. But last I remember, they were hallucinating from drinking from a fountain and seeing something they shouldn't have. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. I think I want to hold on to the money that we've got from our journey there. We're lower on fuel, but have a lot of supplies. And it seems like we can get fuel elsewhere, sometimes at least. Although I should, at the very least. It's 10 per each. I may as well get them here. Additionally... Yeah, I guess I don't really want any of those. Let's take a look at the map. Okay, so I need to go back to Venderbite. And I have... That's it. That's it. That's the last person we need is a chef. And we were going to go to a restaurant in Venderbite. Let's go there. That'll be what we do for the closing chapter for tonight's story in Fallen London. And then we'll switch over to something else. I didn't expect this to be a 2-hour run, but things got interesting. And they always do. Oh, I feel bad about the captain. They had a panic attack. They just everyone was gone for a second on the boat. All 9 of the crew. Huh. We'll just say your sweetheart. Surprise for you on your next return to London. I've taken in a foundling. Choose this option if you're unlikely to either be a father or a mother. Considering, not entirely sure what happened between myself and the person whose locket I hold, but we'll see. What are they thinking? Some scheme of theirs, or honest affection. You have a child! Return to London to look after them, and they may become a scion, allowing you to take 2 legacies. Born, sired, or adopted, they're yours. Oh, that's interesting. Charming. Well, you know what? We should stop at the Hunter's Keep and say hello to the sisters. May as well. Contour the island. You now have a new port report. News. The parlor is empty. Where are the sisters? The maid makes it clear, through a series of unwelcoming growls, Phoebe, Lucy, and Cynthia are all 3 indisposed. No lunch today, apparently. I don't think so. Knock and wait. You ask the sulphur-eyed maid to carry a few hints of your news. The glassy chop of dark water, the iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. Let us eat with Cynthia. Cynthia grasps your arms and whispers to you. Eyes are wide and blue, her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you you're sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake, listening to the story of a murder. Axe, a net, blood on scented water. Another chop, Cynthia asks. You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. You gained another tale of terror. You've lost 8 hunger. Iron remains unchanged. You now have the gods of sea Salt's attention. Interesting. Not currently receiving visitors. We will move on. We're just going to go straight north from here, instead of creeping along the coastline. Let's see if we can find something else along the way to Venderbite. Sighted a bat swarm. Dust echoes even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. No! Bats! Ah! This will slightly reduce terror. Gather up the corpses. They are succulent with stolen blood. Into the pot. Let's reduce terror. Our crew is terrified. You've lost 2 terror. New total, wary. It's not even a lot lost. Jeez. Oh, another light up here. Hi, yes. Now is good. Thank you. We'll eat later. We have a chef to hire. No, I don't... I mean, yeah, I should be getting better, but... No. Why? Like, it doesn't matter how good I am at dodging, they zoom in. Go away. Dissect it. Yes, dissect it. The crab hole conundrums. Okay, so we've already done that. We've gained more fragments. Good for us. Yes, yes, long hair. Very good. Yes, long hair. Yes. We're basically right here already at Venderbite. I suppose we should just go dock. You would think that these various abysses that I find... Oh, there it is. Cant's Abyss. Distant bells. Discovered Cant's Abyss. Fed the crew. You gained a secret. And it's snowing up north. Too cold for the gods. Too cold for the gods. The sun. The sun. The sun. Oh, I have no idea what this is doing to VC face. When it detects two faces, it gets real weird. Okay. The tomb colony of Venderbite. On deck, you hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. It's something like the world's most restless concert audience or the world's most plague-ridden cathedral. Undercrow, almost dead man. Assign a specialized collector. A dapper gentleman lounges by a dry fountain, admiring a frost moth with a predatory gleam in his eyes. Could you help him find the quarry of a lifetime? A weak call for help. An emaciated man is slumped against the wall of the dock, sitting on a huge crate. He waves weakly at you. Your ship is incapable of submarine travel. Find a little restaurant. A dusty glass of wine. Venderbite's not the most promising place for shore leave. Too much decay, too little light, too many bandaged walking corpses, few companions of easy virtue, no cinnamon, no recent pavers, very little pickled cave herring. If I hadn't thrown the bats over the end, I could have had some wine. Interesting. Explore Venderbite when something awaits you. Visit the first curator. No, don't tell me that the curators ended before I could come back. Gather gossip. Port report. The last tour operator. Unlock 12 supplies! Huh? Ho, Captain, I have 12 sad and bandaged souls here. They're choosing their final fate. Will you take them on one last diversionary tour? It may be a longish trip. Make sure you have enough supplies. View your objective tomb colonist quality to learn the destination for each visit. That sounds like a hell of a quest. I'm not doing that right now, but now that I know that if I come here with excess supplies, that's a thing I can do. Okay, first of all, let's go to this restaurant. Fine cuisine in Venderbite. Now that would be something. A corkscrewed street. At the twisty tip of an odd little side street, a welcoming yellow light glows from a lettered windows of a restaurant. Sign reads, Vengeance of Jonah. A beefy tomb colonist bustles up. A gray mustache pokes out impertinently from under his bandages. Come in! Come in! A bandaged poissonnier at Venderbite seeks passage with the sea captain sympathetic to intrepid cuisine. You've found the vengeance of Jonah. You've lost one terror. It's a cramped little place, but better lit than most places in the tomb colonies. The scents of the dishes are multitudinous and extraordinary. Are they good? They might be. They might be good. It's difficult to tell. Temple today's special. The food here is exceptional. You need not fear poisoning or boredom. Definitely not boredom. There's usually a more effective way of reducing terror than purchasing a dusty glass of wine. This will also reduce hunger. A matter of luck could go either way. Offer a strange catch. The Vengeance of Jonah is liberal in its approach to edibility. They will pay a small fee and return some of the materials as supplies. Interesting. Recruit the bandaged poissonnier has long wished to travel, but you'll need to outfit the galley to his exacting standard. 300 echo! Ah! Chef Paramount. So, what I wonder about this is if I do take on the chef and I spend the money, does that mean I'll be able to cook the various like Gillifleur and Z-Bats that I encounter out there, it would cost us 300 Echo. We currently have 387. It costs about 100 to repair the ship. It would cost us 300 Echo to hire this person on. For now, we're gonna try eating here. Yeah, it could be useful. It would wreck our finances. We're gonna try reducing terror through food. I'm curious about this, and it might unlock some other stuff for us. A meal which defies description. The banished poissonnier, owner of the Vengeance of Jonah, has identified 7 flavors which are pleasant, 7 which are unpleasant, and 7 which are neither. The flavors of this meal are chiefly of the first kind. You were fortunate. You've lost 8 hunger, you've lost 5 terror, you've lost 60 echo. That's cool, so we can always come back and eat there now. We have an open day, and we still need a port report. Let's do an open day. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. 1 building in 3 seems abandoned. Captain, I'm a good seaman. I'm yours if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry. I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Take him with you. You could use an extra hand. Unlocked when a new face is unknown. Leave him here. Strangers are too chancy. You've heard stories about things in the shape of sailors, or you just don't like his face. Pay his passage home. An act of Bloody hell! We could use extra crew. No more than 9. You have 9. Taking a chance. You won't be worried. I'll work double watches. Ask anyone, they'll tell you I have a good name. Yes, yes. Eventually get him to stop talking. His enthusiasm is promising, if a little pitiable. There may be further effects from his decision. Welcome aboard, stranger. This is the sailor who came begging to you for berth. He's done a good work, this one, but he's keeping a little shrine to the salts, the nameless god of the horizon, at the back of the hold. Permit it. Out here, Captain needs all the help he can get, even from sad, strange gods of farewells. Or forbid it. You'll have none of this nonsense aboard your ship. If the salt even exists, its attention is dangerous. Keep or get rid of? We already have the god of salt's attention. So, if we destroy this, it's going to know. That's something that I am worried about. We'll permit it. A breath of air. You let him keep the salt circle and his chalked arrow. That night, as you stand on the foredeck, a soft breeze comes out from the east in Salt's direction, tussles your hair, and passes. You now have the god of salt, sea's attention. The god of sea, salt's attention. A certain matter has become clear. Huh. Interesting. I forgot I could sell things like this here. Okay, let us have a meal with the navigator. Also, hello to whoever just went live. Forgetfulness. Seconds, then thirds disappear in small, hasty morsels. He is nervous and not a gifted conversationalist. You do your best to plug the silence. When you ask about his past, he winces. I can't say, Captain. He taps the livid sigil on his temple, which twitches like a scorpion sting. This has burned away my memories. I recall, I have a brother, but not his name or where he is. I remember the names of the ships I've served on. The Implicit, the Bonnie Swan, but not their crew. How did he come by the sigil? He clutches his head. I don't know. I don't know. Thinking about it is like a fire in my skull. He grits his teeth. Someone must have hated me very much to curse me with it, but I can't even remember my enemy. Speak to him again to advance the story. Your navigator's sigil has devoured his memories. He cannot recall his past. Aw, poor guy. Okay. I think that'll do for Sunless Sea tonight. Oh. We're going to go ahead and do another short break. I'm going to go outside and take a stretch, medicate a little, and we will see what we want to play next. Let me double check the votes and see if anything changed. And that's negative, so let's take a look. Jupiter Hell, Sound Dodger, Cosmoteer, Apotheon, and Sunless Sea. Okay, so those are the ones for tonight. We've done a lot of Jupiter Hell. We've done a lot of Sound Dodger. Cosmoteer, if I get into it, I think I'm going to want to do as, like, the main game for the night kind of deal, just because that game has gameplay that lasts a little bit longer and is going to be a fully different set of mechanics from a lot of other stuff out there. So I think when we come back, what we'll be doing tonight is going to be Apotheon. It is a beautiful piece of art, and I highly recommend sticking around to at least get a look at that and some of the feel for it. Obviously, it is a bit less appreciation, a bit more appropriation side of things, in the same way that Hades does. Thank you, Nyan Gosling, for the reminder to hydrate. I've got myself some Powerade here. But much in the same way as Hades, it is also still very appreciative, and it utilizes the Phoenician art style in a beautiful way. We'll also get that stretch in, but that'll be when I stand up. For now, we will dock, save the game again, close this, open up our No Thoughts Head Empty, and switch over to break mode. And I'll be right back with you folks. See you shortly. I return. I return. Okay. Blap, blap, blap. Blap, blap, blap. Let's turn this one on. Immediately note that this is not launching the way that it should. Let's see here. Okay, hear the music. Pause that. Very pretty music. Let's get some options set here. Actually, oh, these are some weird resolutions. Okay, we're gonna have to add a window here. One sec. Thank you. And Dan's back with food. What'd you get for food, Dan? Okay. Oh. Peanut butter on toast. Nice. Have you ever heard of something called a firecracker, Dan? As far as like peanut butter on toast? Also, to the robots watching, Twitch, please do not get upset at me for nudity in this due to artistic licensing. Switch this over. Okay, that's still not a resolution that's going to work. Let's see. Apply that. Oh, that didn't help. Oh, maybe that did. Oh. Cool, looks like that did actually work. But yeah, I noticed as I was looking up that there was a straight up topless person in here. Like, there's a straight up bottomless person there. Hey, what's up, Zeus? How you doing? God. All right, let's move on.
The gods have abandoned you. What love they once gave is now gone. The sea gives only water.
Okay,
The
that I
woods
appreciate that.
give only wind. The earth gives only dust. Even the midday sky gives only twilight. And with their shepherds gone, the sheep fall prey to wolves. Without the gifts of Olympus, you are lost to the darkness.
Turn this down just a little bit. So when I first saw this, and I saw like that intro, because I saw it as a preview video, I thought, wow, this game's got some really cool cinematics. What I didn't realize is the entire game is done in this way. You can show as a nudity in Conan Exiles technically because it's not a mod. That makes me hopeful and wary of playing some of the like old school games that that I've played that do have like blatant nudity. Okay. So yeah, this whole game is done in this style that looks like something that would have been a cinematic anywhere else. Okay, I have like no equipment yet. Okay, sorry. We have a knife. Oh, we have a sword. Okay.
This one's mine.
Ow. Ow. Jeez. I am bad at combat. Okay, so left click to attack. How do I throw? That's how I throw. Okay. Hello. Uh-oh. Oh, that went through. It's not fair. Okay.
You're still amongst the living. Our watchmen didn't even see their ships through the darkness. These raiders scum will take everything we have. They're taking prisoners, invading houses, and village. I need you wherever you can stick a blade.
You got it, bud.
Secure the village!
Ha! I forgot that happens. Ah. Okay. Hi. Hello? I love throwing knives in this game.
Check the academy. The old man won't last long.
You got it.
Cut him down! Secure the granary. If we lose that grain, we've got nothing left.
Understood. Oh, you're with me. Okay. Wood club. Okay. What else we got? Ooh. Hello?
Here, got a runner!
Yep. No! I didn't want to go in there yet. Alright, well. I guess we're finding the blacksmith. And we have a shield now. A shield and a wooden club. We'll just have to do. Why? I wasn't even trying to hit that thing. Glad I have the shield.
If you struggle, I'll only stick you harder.
Alright. Okay, can't get anything from there. Still just... And didn't I... We got oils. So we got another knife. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of punchy. Very punchy. What else? Alright, we're gonna stick to the Ziphos. Just a better weapon overall. And I swear... Oh, I must have destroyed it. Another shield? Door sealed.
Don't be scared.
Why are you standing there in nothing but your skin? That thick skull of yours as good as a helmet. I think I got some old leathers in the back you can wear. Grab me that coin box, would you? I want to make sure you can cover the costs.
Mm-hmm.
Here, try these on. Cover up that greasy hide of yours.
Upgrade to linen bracers, leg wraps, linothorax, and leather cap. Does this change the way I look? Oh, it does! I didn't even notice that. Alright, well, good for you. Glad you're okay. Is this open now? Yeah. Alright, this is where I become... Oh, I guess we only get one shield. Plus to armor. Ooh, ooh. Okay. These Dorus or Doris are so good in combat. I found out that I'm really good at throwing in this game during my little like trial of the first few minutes of it. Yeah, it's just throwing weapons everywhere for me. Hello, you're fine. You folks good? Okay, let's... I'm here to help. Why are they doing this? Oh, hi. Stop going in there. I don't want to go in there. Uh-huh. Okay. Let's do this again. So I think it's respawning the enemies every time that I mess up with that too. Hello. Oh, I found their boat. Who's next? Go over here, grab one of these, go inside, rescue the prisoners. On the raider ship. Boat hold fee required. Next. Oh, you blocked that one. Good job, bud. Hmm.
Another one for the market.
Oh, I see.
In the arena. Why are they doing this?
Cigaris. Powerful and heavy axe. Upgrade to skull cap. Very nice. So now I have an axe that, of course, I'm going to be throwing at things.
Help us! Why are they doing this? God, have mercy!
Let's go. I forgot how fast this person runs. Holy cow. Alright. Oh, shit. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so bad. I'm sorry. You really shouldn't have run between us. I tried to help.
Why are they doing this?
I don't know, but go. You two.
Help me! They're taking the grain! God, stop them! We don't even have enough to last the season!
Alright. Damn, that's brutal.
Cut him down!
Right. Oh, there actually is running? What is the shift for? Look is shift. Gotcha. The death noises are a bit much for me on this. Like, I get it. I killed the person.
Squeal, piggy, squeal.
Oh, lockpick. Oh, hatchet. Even better. Okay. So these are officially supposed to be ranged weapons. Interesting. Oh, hi. I'm not. You might be, though. What do we got here? Another Nectar of Healing. Archery is something I love. Wait, what was even over here? I just looted things and then started killing people again.
Push them back to the sea.
Well, we tried. What? What is that? Health. Okay. You've got nothing.
Help me over here.
I am. Just stay back. What do we find here? Milk moly root. And some funny little mushrooms. Can't go in there. Can't do anything here. Alright, you folks stay safe. I hear something going on. What's this? Orin's house. The hunter. Oh, we're gonna find bows. Always handy. Hey, game. You wanna let me do anything else besides enter village? I smash all the things. I got armor off of that rat.
I went hunting yesterday. Didn't see a single deer.
Uh-huh.
Went out this morning. Didn't see any rabbits. No birds singing neither. There was always the bird songs in the mornings. Peep, cheep, cheep, tweet. Lots of rats though. People like rat meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them bandits upstairs. Don't you worry. I'll keep all the rat meat safe. Don't worry. I'll keep the wine safe too.
I'm glad, bud.
I used to be pretty good. With a bow, I mean. My poor hunting grounds. Empty, like this wine jug. Artemis must be mad at us.
Oh.
It's alright. These little guys aren't going anywhere.
Well, I just killed them all.
I'm just gonna stay here for a while longer.
Alright. I'll see you, bud. I just have a bow now. Alright. I'm good with that. Oh, the rats are back. Rat jam. Okay. I guess we continue this way. Yeah, obviously, but oh, there are more. Okay. Good luck. Don't get shot. We did it. You can stop swinging now.
Help me over here.
Ah. Seems like you folks have that one handled. Jeez.
This one's mine. Give it up.
Okay, so I can just shoot over their shoulders, and my character knows not to try and shoot them in the back of the head. That's handy.
Help me over here.
None of you survived that. Great. Good for all of you.
Push them back to the sea. Gods, help us!
Gods have mercy.
This one's mine. Protect your homes.
What do we got here? Oh, okay. Well. Wait, what? That's not... I'm not supposed to be able to see that yet.
Give it up.
Mm-hmm. I will. After you die. Oh, that map. Tab. Okay. So what do we... It looked like there was more over here.
Come on. Here.
Door sealed. I have to go do the last one first. Got it.
If you strike.
Zoomies. I've got them. Okay, and that's where I differed in the past. Got it. Field is F. I wish I had remembered that early on. Okay.
Over here. Got a runner.
Well, I am well suited for running. It's just a little gallery for speaking? It's cute. Okay, so I can't pick up any of these herbs that I'm finding. I wonder why. That just leads... Yeah, okay. Oh.
You've got enough.
Stealth combat. Not dropping down there yet.
Good heavens. My Kendrios. I doused all the lamps and hid up here before they could find me. I'm fine.
Smart.
But you look dreadful. Come closer, my boy. Here, let me show you how to mix a soothe.
Oh. Alright. Crafting is C. Okay. So that makes me wonder. Because I saw a bunch of herbs in the starting area here. And I kept seeing them being left around everywhere. Yep. Okay, so they did remain at least.
You there, with me. Their leader is on the warpath. We need to rally to the temple.
Yeah. Hmm. Ow.
Why are they doing this?
Upgraded to linen wraps. Good. Needed those. Needed those. Yes, yes. Oh, there's also money in there. I hate breaking apart everything down here, but, like, I need the upgrades, so... Oh, hello. Good shot. Alright.
To the temple.
Get another javelin here.
God, have mercy.
Just use green fire inside the temple. Okay.
Help me over here!
What if I just lit all of my enemies on fire? Somebody else got the same bright idea to start throwing things. I just happen to be a bit more experienced at this one. Alright. So many spears. Let us see what we can find over here. Yeah, I need those. Right. Thing up there. Okay. All good things. What do we find here? Whatever it is, it seems important. Upgrade to leather greaves. Nice. Love those little armor boxes. Okay, so was there something else over here I could do? Huh? Interesting. Let's see. So many people here are just like straight up naked. Oh, I'm supposed to jump over that. Got it. Hey, do I have your attention? How you doing? Good dodge. Ow. Wrong button. Ah. Well. Hi. Bye. Jeez. There's javelins everywhere. Oh, I'm just dropping them now? What's going on here? Huh? Ow! Stop that. Rude. Little hidden door. Where do you go? With heads carved from rare hydrobone, these arrows split into 3 shafts when loosed. Interesting. Aww. I sing golden-throned Hera, whom Rhea bare. Queen of the Immortals is she, surpassing all in beauty. She is the sister and the wife of loud-thundering Zeus, the glorious one, whom all the blessed throughout high Olympus reverence and honor, even as Zeus who delights in thunder. Oh. More armor. Leather bracers. Somehow I get the feeling I'm about to do a boss fight. I don't know. Hi. 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 Wait, did I see? Oh no, it's just a torch. So I'm just throwing less, like, functional weapons on the ground here, it seems like. Yikes. Hi. Hello. How are you? Please stop jumping and just lay down. Go away. Stop attacking my village. Get out of here. What's that? There's so many things here. Upper temple key is required. How did I get here then? Did I skip something? I think I did. Because I came through this back route. Oh, ow. Okay, so this is that place. Which... Wait, did I get that? Yeah, okay, so I opened that. Sorry about the backtracking. One of the inherent things that happens with this style of game. Yeah, you're fine, bud. A new Hoplon. More javelins. Yeah, the sprintiness makes it much more tolerable to have to backtrack a lot. Okay, so this is the room I skipped. Upper temple key required. Are you kidding me? Okay, let's go over there. I should drink. There we go. Nice sword.
God save us! They sealed the door behind them, but I have the spare key. Take it! Take it!
Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna start throwing melee weapons again. It's way too entertaining. Plus, they do so much higher damage for no reason. Okay, so this really is where that would have taken me. Alright. Oh, nice. Bigger shield. Very nice.
Why are they doing
Out
this?
of my way, peasant! The gods have forsaken you! Resign to your fate and leave this world to stronger men!
Hmm. Keep throwing knives. Throw everything you got. It'll get him eventually. Alright.
And so, a champion is born. a lone bright ember glowing from within a dying path. Arise, my chosen. Arise, Nicandrios. You stand before Hera, fairest amongst all goddesses, divine queen of Olympus. Under the shadow of the mountain, humanity gasps its last breath. The gods have abandoned you. Zeus, king of gods and men, my husband, has turned his back on your people. He has broken the sacred contract between deities and mortals. He has betrayed you. You see, we are alike, you and I.
How?
Wife and son, wounded by husband and father. Unfaithful in matrimony, he discards his oaths for lesser creatures. Irresponsible in patriarchy, he discards his mortal subjects like an ungrateful child tossing away his toys. The law of Zeus is absolute, and the Olympians are compelled to obey. Without the seeds of Demeter, your crops fail. Without the grace of Artemis, your forests are barren. Without the gaze of Apollo, your minds stumble in darkness. But I, as queen, am not so easily cowed. Step to the altar, Nicandrios.
I just took a bite of the most disgusting quesadilla I've ever eaten. Not to, like, remove from the gravity of the situation, but it's just the intro to the game.
I present to you a choice. Ascend Mount Olympus, strip these callous gods of their power, and cast down Zeus from his lofty throne.
Alright.
Stand up to the cruel deities of Olympus and earn your people's salvation.
Okay.
Or remain here, without the gifts of the gods, and watch your world turn to ashes.
Oh. Look over here. Wyatt disgusting. Texture and flavor, and it's cold and old, like hours old, and just yeah. Alright, well, into the fire.
For
We
too long has my
we
husband
burn.
escaped the consequences of his actions. But together, we will take what is owed.
Get in the green Glowdog fire. So this is like, it's a really neat scene, the idea of like ascending into the world of the immortals. Error occurred. Hit continue to keep playing. If this happens repeatedly, try restarting the game. Okay, are we about to have this issue? Oh, I think we're about to have this issue. That's funny. This is the second time this has happened to me. I have made it further in the game than this. I'm a little weirded out that the Steam save didn't save from the last time that I was trying to play this one, but it does. Yeah, it looks like it nuked itself. Aww. Apotheon, why? Okay, yeah, it's dead. It's dead. We got Alt F4 this one. Oh, alright. Let's do this. Let us do this. We'll hang out for a sec. Then I want to talk for a sec about that too. Let's see. Switch over here. Move this. Put this back. Yeah. The last time I tried to play this game, or at least the first time I tried to play this game, I got to that ending. I jumped into the fire. Hera's like, yeah, you're gonna go to Olympus and go kick some butt, and resolve all these problems and save humanity. And the game just crashes. And I was playing it to a Discord full of people at the time, and we're just like, wait, is that the end of the game? Like, you go and you try to save everything and that the game just closes? Like, that's the ending? Because, like, I've played games like that, where it actually does do a forced close at end of story, and there's no resolution, there's no credits, like, you reopen it at that point, and you might see something, but that's the end. And so I was like, wow, what a cheeky ending, like, that's kind of wacky. And a couple years later, I decided, you know what, I liked that weird little game. I want to try and, like, go play that through and see if there's any other stuff that I can find. And I get to that ending again. Not an ending at all, the ending of the intro. Well, obviously you saw the rest of the map there. There's 9 other parts of Olympus that you're supposed to go to. And so I did. I went to Olympus, and I upset all the guards up there, and it was an interesting, like, little playthrough. And when I started again tonight, I was expecting that I was going to be starting off from there, and that I would have to restart manually to go to the story mode, so that you folks could see the intro, and then it just gives me the exact same error all over again. So I'm like, oh okay. I guess at least, like, this way I'm able to better illustrate what happened to me the first time I played, because it's doing it again. So I don't know. We'll try to see if we can get that one to come back later. I might have to like forcibly go in and change some sort of settings there. I might even have to like go and find out if it's just one of those games that didn't age well and modern graphics processing doesn't handle it, or something about the Steam Cloud save doesn't work right, because like I know that with Fallout 3 it explicitly just does not like Steam and certain graphics cards, so if you happen to have a certain setup, it just doesn't like you, and Apotheon just might be one of the games that does that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this thing that was a fun little run. It was a silly little bit of story to show you folks. And I might actually end up like pulling that one down off the list of community vote ones for a little while. And if you see it pop up and you want to try to get that one another go, well, let me know. But I've been wanting to at least show that one off artistically for a minute, because it's like playing as the illustrations that you see on clay pottery, and I love it. Can't win them all. Yeah, some games just don't want to be played. All right, wow, this is very loud. Hey, no thoughts head empty. You're very thoughts head full right now. Okay, we'll go over here. We'll go over here. We go over here. Let's see who's streaming right now. Who do we want to send everybody over to? You know what? Let's send you over to Valdudes. I know that they're doing a raid train thing over there, and the music has been good all day. I've actually been listening off and on for about the last 8 hours. So enjoy the little party, and for those of you that it's too late, I hope you have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow again at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Let's see here. Raid. Wait, no, let's do it from this side instead. Thank you for joining. It's always fun to have you folks drop in. And I hope to have more fun games to show you soon. We got so much more to do on the other ones that we're already running story for, so it'll be good to go back to those. For tonight, let's set this up as a green Glowdog raid. Trying to snag that one from the previous. Yeah. Did that post correctly? Yes, it did. Okay, cool. Alright, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye!